Hello and welcome to my Tirion Arcane Crystal guide. We're at a 3.3 level disadvantage. Starting off, we have By the Light, and we need this talent because it doubles the healing on the primary target. Footmen are down 5 levels. We need all the healing we can get. Divine Shield, not going to cut it. We use Firehammer. I recommend Pyromancer if you have it at a higher level. My Firehammer is a higher level. Heightened Rage gains a level, which allows me to survive Chain Lightning. It's a good breakpoint. Holy Nova Inner Fire allows us to survive big elemental damage burst. Whelp Eggs with Flame Burst and Safe Pilot with Cloaking Device benefit immensely from the Arcane Crystal, and it is the main damage of our push. Defias Bandits with Picklock is insane for snowballing in stage 2 and 3 with the chest, and then Fortification on Footmen is bugged for extra 60% health, and it is the main push of our build. So, starting off here, we need to keep our push alive by keeping our Footmen as healthy as possible, and we're going to do that with damage in this run. The other relics are okay, but Arcane Crystal is the best if you build your deck around it. We got it in stage 1, so we have the Elemental Firehammer, the Elemental Safe Pilot, and the Whelp Eggs to capitalize on that. You'll note that the spells do not benefit, so Holy Nova does not benefit. We start off with Defias to split up to try and maybe cap a Meeting Stone on the right and Safe Pilot on the left, which is where we want to be pushing to clear out this main push. This is an ideal opener from the opponent. We're going to overcap a little on gold, and we're going to spawn our Tirion in the back away from our main push here. We are trying to cycle into our Footmen, which we spawn away from the Tirion, so that any spells are cast, the damage is mitigated and kept away from our main push. Now, it wouldn't have been that bad to eat a Chain Lightning there, but we were hoping for an Execute instead. We're going to keep our Firehammer a little bit more back away from our push as well. There's the Execute, and the Firehammer is going to clean up this Stonehoof Tarn that comes in on the pipe. Now we want to move our push to the right so that we can merge with the push we're going to do on the right as well. The walking distance is a lot shorter on the right, so you can snowball your push effectively by grouping them together. We're going to use Safe to clear out these spiders that take double damage from Elemental. And the bear again walks away from the Safe, which keeps her nice and healthy and allows her to rejoin our push. I'm going to send her to the right to cap the Meeting Stone so that we do not have to deal with reinforcements, and I can reinforce from that Meeting Stone. Tyrion's keeping our Footmen just barely alive with the extra healing. We're going to reinforce with another Tirion, and we're going to try and get a Firehammer down or some Footmen if possible. Now you'll note here that I had to defend. The Chain Lightning came out so quickly that if I had not done that, I would have probably lost my Firehammer to the Spiderling's poison, and the Inner Fire protected my main push here. Now I make the first mistake of my push here, and that is that I'm dropping Firehammer. At this point I should be dropping Safe Pilot and Whelp Eggs to try and finish off the boss because our push has been successful and we made it to the boss. But we had enough damage anyway, and we managed to clear it. Going on to number 2 here with Cookie, we have Light Feather, which has anti-synergy with Whelp Eggs. Captain's Helm, which I think is not that good with your taunt minions, are pretty low on the levels. And Gauntlets of Determination, which I think is pretty good with Tirion because it increases his healing as he's deployed more and more throughout the battle. So starting off, we spawn our Kobold at the bottom of our base to make sure that it mines the mine on the right. It already has 2 gold. And we're going to use our Defias Bandits to cap this chest on the left. And then we're going to cap the chest on the right as well if possible. Unfortunately, we get Chain Lightning and we lose our Firehammer, which was kind of bad. But it's okay because we have Whelp Eggs, which you should lead with, and then follow up with the Safe Pilot to clear out the initial push. All we really need to do here is clear out this push. We have a massive gold lead from the Defias, getting that extra gold at the beginning. We're going to develop our next push here. I'm going to cycle for more Tirions because we want to try and get as much healing as we can on these Footmen. And it's around 2:45, which means that the chest is about to come back up on the left. They spawn every 40-45 seconds. So I should have dropped my Defias away from my main group because Chain Lightning's coming back up and I end up losing my Firehammer for free and denying the 4 gold for me for the chest. Now you should use your Whelp Eggs a little bit earlier than I did here, and this will pull everything into it and do some good damage to the tower. You want to try and capitalize on doing more damage to the tower and all the damage you can to these minis. I just barely am able to defend my base as a result of my late Whelp Eggs, but all you need is 1 HP in this because the CPU is not going to backdoor you with some unbound minis. So we're going to push up the right here. We want to try and secure all 3 towers, just because in this position, if we have any minis approach our base, we're going to lose it. The tower allows us to reinforce and hold the minis back so we can easily keep securing the gold in the chests. Now our Defias get the primary hits on this chest. We can break it open with the fire hammer, and this gives us the 4 gold. And we're going to cap the chest on the right as well as we prepare our push on the left. And we're going to have to hold this left push. Now this is another error I make. I try and defend this with the safe pilot first. You should use your whelp eggs first. That way all the minis come and cluster around the eggs, and then the safe pilot can finish off everything else. It's okay though, because we have Tirion healing up our group, and everything here is physical damage, so the Footmen are going to be king. Footmen are really good in this dungeon because they are armored, and almost everything is physical damage, which is half damage to armored. So I just use this Holy Nova to push this tower down and keep going, but realistically, Cookie's about to go down. Our push is very strong going into him, and we probably, if our base is a little healthier, we could have just aggroed onto him and not gone for the left tower at all. Then finally we have Sneed. I spent a little bit of time thinking about these relics here. Getting an extra level from cycling from Defias is not that good. Stealth is actually quite good, but I had a little bit of a side consideration where what if the whelp eggs spawn with stealth when they are copied by the Sneed's Goblin Analyzer? So we went ahead with the spell because our Holy Nova will spawn some skeletons, and we can use that in a pinch because we don't really have any unbound minis. We can use that in a pinch to try and bamboozle the Goblin Analyzer pads that he has. You're not wrong with the stealth though. So starting off, we open with the Defias. We're lucky he doesn't use his Stone of Tarn. If he had, I would use Tirion to support and then Footmen behind. And he has this Ogre Mage, so we're going to try and use Holy Nova if we can to defend it. And fortunately, we do not need to do that. However, I'm expecting, maybe like a safe or something to come down at this point. So I go ahead and just heal my guys up and make sure that we secure this tower. It might have been okay to try and take the chest in the interim, but I think it was a little bit greedy. I just want to make sure I secure the tower and I'm able to move on to the right as we develop our kobold in the middle. Now, if I had developed my kobold in the middle a little bit sooner to take this gold mine, it probably would have beaten this molten giant to the pad, and I wouldn't have had to deal with this molten giant. But it's okay, because Footmen are actually insane in this dungeon, and they will tank these molten giants forever. And with Tirion, this gives me a chance to at least get a free level on my fire hammer, because they can only gain 1 level per combat, but when they attack 4 times, they get that level. We're going to secure the chest on the left. Make sure you're doing that all the time with your Defias. That's going to snowball you a victory, and that's going to allow us to push into this tower on the right as we close out this game. So fortunately, we are getting some mad levels on our fire hammers here, but we're about to lose them to a safe that's going to be dropped on our head. But it's not the end of the world. We don't have Holy Nova ready to defend them, otherwise I would have used it. And we're going to use this kobold to secure the gold on the right. And the nice thing about having all these Footmen is that if they get cloned by the pads, they are very easy to remove with the safe pilot. So you just drop it on the bridge as they go across. These armored minis typically have a lot less health, and particularly if they're in a squad, their health is spread out amongst minis, so you're not super worried about them being copied. Now, if Tirion was copied, it'd be a lot harder to remove. I'd probably be on the clock to try and take down Sneed, and that is something that can happen. But the Fire Hammer has good elemental damage, and it brings Sneed down. Remember, he's armored, so you're going to need some elemental damage to do that. And yeah, this was a pretty fun run, being at such a massive level disadvantage. And going forward in the future when we make more dungeon videos, we're going to try and label them based off of the primary relic, in this case Arcane Crystal, and the hero that's running it, and that way it'll be easier to find them in the future. So I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope to see you in my future videos. Let us know in the comments down below how your Deadmines are going, and yeah, maybe we'll do some PvP here soon. Take it easy, y'all. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.